I just had a couple questions, and one is
Right now.
well, the main question was when you go into an investigation and like on your first impression, does that first impression typically affect the rest of your investigation, or do you try to push aside first impressions on like whether or not you might find activity or might not find activity?
Okay. Well, honestly, you can't fight it. You walk into any place, you're going to have a first impression. But you've got to carry through the end no matter what, because, like I said, we were not impressed with the Princess Room at the Mount Washington Resort, but look at what the evidence revealed. That's the kicker, is you got to wait till the end when all the evidence is revealed to really know what you're dealing with.
I mean, we did a case recently, and I was like, man, there's nothing going on, and the whole night, nothing, there, and last minute, something crazy. Can't tell you what it is yet. You'll see it. It's it's really, that's exactly what it is. You'll never know. So I love it. Unpredictable.
When I did the Halloween episode up at Waverly, Chris Williams and I were up on the top floor where the nurse had committed suicide, and we were up there for a good hour and a half, and there was just absolutely nothing going on, but it was the end of the show, so we didn't have time to change location, so we were just kind of hanging out and recapping the night, and they say, okay, that's it, the show's wrapped, we're cut, so we're going to get our gear down, and then all of a sudden there was just overwhelming feeling like that something just did not want us there. And it was really intense, and both of us like picked up on it right away, and it was weird how quick it changed. Yeah, that's right, yeah, the way we were carrying the gear down, we got to like a lower level. Like Grant said, that place is crazy, it's like every level is a little different.
Video game.
Yeah. Nicely done. I was thinking ice cream, but I couldn't make the analogy. But yeah, we were carrying the gear down, and there was like footsteps behind us, and it just felt like something wanted us out of there, which was fine because I was tired.
What does that have to do with the question? You always do that.
I like telling stories.
You always like this.
At least it wasn't about his hair, so.
Yeah. We'll step up.
So we're all friends here. We don't have to be that politically correct. There's another.
I don't know.
There's a noise coming from me here. But there is another show on television that relies heavily on orbs and Welsh psychics as their evidence.
Not of which you speak. What is the name of this show?
Did you hear that? Anyway, do you guys have any opinions on that?
Okay, look, I think every show out there has its good and bad points, including ours. Ours is probably the music, but anyway, at least one bad point. But I think that show's great if you're like, I like to go in real haunted houses, but I also like to go in Halloween-type haunted houses. I think their show appeals more to the Halloween-type haunted house crowd. You know, you go in there and watch people run around, haha, it's funny. And, but we have, I don't want to play favorites or anything, but we had a radio show that we did for a while, and we had Yvette on the radio show, and in the interview, one of the first questions I asked, and I hope she was going to answer it one way, was, you know, what is your goal with the show? What are you trying to accomplish? And I was hoping she was going to say, just have a good time in paranormal places, because we like to get freaked out. But she said, we want to bring truth and validity to the field. And I was like, okay. And yeah, we started questioning her about some videos that show that there's some fakery on there, and she started getting really hot-headed. And her closing line was, am I being judged by two plumbers? Yeah, well, not to say she was 40 minutes late to the interview anyway on a live radio show. That's kind of rough, but yeah. So I don't know. Form your opinion out of that, I guess.
Can I get a fist bump?
Not
here?
from here.
We call it Nux.
Oh, I'm sorry if people have asked this already, but as for the dramatic music, is that going to be turned down anytime in the future? We can't hear anything, and we're going to turn down the
I'm
music.
sorry, but when creepy stuff happens, that music just naturally comes.
We always thought you guys liked the music. Rob and I actually brought CDs of it, but nobody's bought one.
Yeah. Thanks, Peter.
No, we've asked them, we've had 3 separate meetings with the heads of sci-fi, asking them to turn that down. Each time they say yes, and maybe they turn it down 1 click. I don't know, but it's not happening. I think it'd be spookier with just silence. Instead of, what was that?
And I'll do the public service announcement. If you hate the music, email sci-fi.
Thank you.
No sarcasm.
Anybody. Just email.
Not anybody, everybody.
No, I mean email anybody at sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, email them all. Okay.
Hi, first I wanted to say, Grant, I have heard your music, and I have seen your sketches, and you're very, very talented.
Oh, well, thank you.
Outside of the paranormal stuff that I didn't but I know you guys deal with a lot of things outside of just ghost hunting, just paranormal in general. What do you think of some of the theories on DMT and the pineal gland? Have you heard any of
The
this?
what?
So the pineal gland in the brain, and DMT, which is a chemical that the body produces that they say brings like after-death experiences and
Right,
some
it's
paranormal.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They think that some people are able to tap into that like without knowing it and release this chemical, and that this could be some of the things that people see. That there could be, you know.
Well,
what do you
the question,
think about that?
I know a lot of people that work in that field, study the brain, and they will all tell me that we don't know anything about the brain. That's what they're in the field. We don't know how it works. We're trying to figure it out. I know if I touch this here, the guy can't say any words. If I touch this here, he can't recognize any pictures. But they don't know why or how. The question remains is, are chemicals like that being formed, and then the reaction is a misinterpretation? So in other words, I get that chemical in my brain and now I see entities? Or is it the other way around? Is it because I sense an entity, my chemical secretes that brain so I can see that chemical? How long were you good? I did that the first year. I said, read it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's all.
It's okay, yesterday instead of blood drive, I said blood drain, and all the vampires laughed.
No, don't say that.
Didn't mean to.
Other vampires working the blood drive? That'd be awesome.
It's a con, it could be.
I'm saying.
Well, you notice too, so as become so popular, people are trying to go out and do their own paranormal experiences and try to take pictures and stuff like that to capture paranormal phenomenon. In your opinion, what's the best thing to do for people who think they've captured a paranormal phenomena, but they send it to somebody or something like that?
It honestly depends on how it was caught. A lot of times if you've been to a place and you've taken pictures and you see an anomaly, you have to go back to that place. Because usually it'll be in a window reflection or something like that. So you have to look around and you got to revisit and see if you can recreate it. That's the #1 thing you can do. After that, if you have no answers, you can send it to an investigation group local to you and get in touch with them. Honestly, if it's on film, I always recommend that you contact, no one's really using film anymore, but you can contact either the maker of the camera or the manufacturer of the film and say, look, I paid good money for this and I got this weird thing on my picture. What's up with that? And you'll usually get a free roll of film out of it if you're on film. But what you'll get out of them is not, it's a ghost. They'll say it's either a problem, a processing error, or a problem with the negative, or they'll say they don't know.
Thanks. I was just wondering how you guys deal with hometown celebrity, whether you're recognized often, is it a good experience or a bad experience? Do you get tired of people telling you their extended ghost stories?
I love it when someone asks me a plumbing question. It's such a break.
But you didn't answer that U-bend question yesterday. I'm still very confused.
No, in order to get the camera through a U-bend, you gotta push. Yeah, we don't want to go. No, honestly, it's getting more and more severe. The first little time I could run errands, go 5 places and get recognized once. Now it's like 5 times at each place. And on every plane, people are amazed that I'm not riding first class and stuff like that. It's like, what the heck? But it's, I don't know, I don't get it, but it's tough. It's fun because I love meeting everybody, but the problem is you never have enough time with everybody. And that's what's so rough with it. I mean, we're at the table, it's like, hi, how are you? Next. I hate it. I wish I had more time. And it's rough when you have 3